It began like any ordinary Sunday afternoon in Victorville, California, where the sun beats down on dusty roads and families stop for snacks and fuel on Bear Valley Road. But July 13, 2025, would quickly turn from mundane to macabre when someone spotted something unspeakably eerie outside an A&PM petrol station. At first glance, it looked like a teddy bear, except not soft, not plush, not cute. This thing looked like it had been sewn together from human skin. What followed next was a chaotic whirlwind that gripped the entire community and echoed through the far corners of the internet. The police were called, the scene was cordoned off, and fear began to spiral. Was this the calling card of a serial killer? A warning? A grotesque totem of something sinister stalking the region? Law enforcement took no chances. The coroner was summoned, forensic gloves were snapped on, and the bizarre teddy bear was bagged like evidence from a horror movie. The petrol station was shut down. Speculation flooded TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. People wondered aloud if Victorville was about to join the ranks of towns forever haunted by headlines. And then came the twist. It was a prank, or rather, a grotesque piece of horror art turned viral nightmare. The teddy bear was not made from human flesh, despite appearances. It was just the latest creation from a South Carolina horror artist named Robert Kelly, who specializes in unsettling sculptures and gory faux props, often sold through Etsy. Kelly had no idea that the piece he shipped to a buyer in Victorville would end up in the middle of a criminal investigation. The buyer? One Hector Corona Villanueva, 23 years old, who has now been arrested for staging the fake bear and causing a public emergency. Police accused him of planting false evidence and triggering a situation that diverted emergency resources, potentially endangering others in real need. But for a day, he succeeded in unleashing something darker than a mere prank: mass paranoia, collective dread, and an internet sensation rooted in unease. What made it so effective was how viscerally real it all felt. The human-like stitching, the warped features, the sickly tones of the faux flesh. It played on every horror fan's worst nightmares, every true crime buff's deepest fears. Some even compared it to Ed Gein, the infamous killer who inspired films like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho, for his habit of making items from human skin. Whether by accident or intention, the bear carried that energy. It wasn't just creepy, it was uncanny. It was wrong. Local residents were horrified, not because they knew the truth, but because they didn't. For that brief window of time before the arrest and the artist's confession, it was as if reality had cracked. The ordinary town of Victorville had become the setting of something grotesque, something rotten, something that might crawl into your dreams at night. Parents kept children close. Travelers avoided Bear Valley Road. And online, the image of the bear started spreading like wildfire. Screenshots, speculation, even conspiracy theories about cults or underground horror movements. And all of this? It was sparked by art. Horror art specifically. Robert Kelly, the artist behind the work, wasn't hiding. When news outlets traced the bear back to him, he proudly owned it. Every artist wants credit, he told People magazine, clearly overwhelmed by the attention but also grateful. On Facebook, he made it clear he had no role in the prank. The buyer never told him where or how it would be used. His work, disturbing as it is, has been used in haunted houses, film sets, and Halloween installations. But this was national news. And in a twisted way, it cemented his legacy. But the fallout wasn't just viral clicks and eerie headlines. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office issued a statement expressing frustration. They made it clear that incidents like this waste valuable emergency resources and can delay response to actual life and death calls. And they weren't wrong. While officers and forensic teams were tied up analyzing an art project, someone else might have needed urgent help. That's the balance horror pranks always tread, between cathartic fear and reckless danger. The case has also stirred debate online. Some defend Villanueva as a misunderstood artist or prankster. Others condemn him outright for his irresponsibility. Meanwhile, fans of horror art are divided. Was this a beautiful accident or an ugly misuse of genrecraft? The controversy is just as gripping as the event itself. And then there's the bear itself, now bagged and secured in an evidence locker somewhere, maybe still radiating unease to anyone who catches a glimpse. It's the kind of thing you never forget once you've seen it. A stuffed animal stripped of innocence, a child's comfort toy transformed into a waking nightmare. That image haunts because it inverts something we hold sacred. And that, at its core, is the engine of effective horror. As the case unfolds, more questions arise. Will Villanueva be charged with a felony? Will Etsy crack down on disturbing props? Will Robert Kelly see a boom in orders from curious collectors? And most of all, what does this event say about the age we live in, where a fake bear made of fake skin paralyzes a town and dominates the algorithm? It says that fear still works, that horror still matters, that even in a world oversaturated with violence and chaos, there are still images and ideas that shake us to our core. This wasn't just a stunt, it was a reflection of our obsession with true crime, of our love-hate relationship with fear, of how easy it is to fall down the rabbit hole when mystery meets the macabre. For a few hours in July 2025, a teddy bear made from flesh turned California into a crime scene, art into controversy, and a prank into a parable. And now, long after the headlines fade, that bear will live on, online, in memory, and in nightmares.